We are taught that a haunting is an injury, a psychic wound left on a place by an act of violence, a tragedy, a profound sorrow. But what if the opposite were true? What if the most powerful emotions, the ones that truly define a life, are not of pain, but of pure, unadulterated joy? Welcome to Infinity Cast. I'm Vesper Thorne, and tonight we're chasing a different kind of ghost. Joining me, as always, is the man who first posed this very question to me, Calyx Rowe.
Vesper, it's a pleasure. And it's a question that keeps me awake at night. We've all heard of the stone tape theory that intense events can be recorded onto the very fabric of a location, but the narrative is always so bleak. A murder, a betrayal. We seem to have a blind spot for the sheer power of ecstasy. I call them echoes of ecstasy, residual hauntings born not from a scream, but from a moment of perfect, soul-shaking happiness.
A hauntingly beautiful concept. It suggests that some places aren't scarred, but blessed. Take, for instance, the old Orpheum Grand Ballroom in Savannah. It was abandoned for 50 years after a fire, but every single report from trespassers and later restoration crews mentioned the same thing. Not cries for help, not a feeling of dread, but the faint spectral sound of a string quartet and the phantom sensation of warmth, as if the room were still filled with dancing bodies.
Exactly. And historical records show the last event held there before the fire was the Solstice Gala of 1928, reportedly the most lavish and joyous celebration the city had ever seen. 1,000 people celebrating life, love, and prosperity at the absolute peak of the era. Could an outpouring of collective joy on that scale be powerful enough to saturate the walls, to echo through time itself?
It's a chilling thought in its own way, that an emotion can outlive the people who felt it. It's not just grand locations either. I was investigating a case in rural Vermont, a small farmhouse continuously occupied by the same families since it was built. The current owner told me that every winter, especially around the holidays, the scent of gingerbread and pine would inexplicably fill the upstairs hallway. She would also catch glimpses of shimmering lights like reflections from old-fashioned ornaments in her peripheral vision.
And there was no tragic Christmas story in the family's past?
None whatsoever. Just generations of documented happy holiday mornings in that very house. The feeling she described wasn't fear, it was comfort, a profound sense of peace and familial love so thick you could almost touch it. A benevolent haunting.
Which leads to the truly unsettling question, are these near recordings, Vesper, a simple playback of residual energy? Or is there a consciousness attached? A gentle, lingering awareness that simply wants to share its happiest moment, over and over again. Not trapped, but content to remain. A ghost that doesn't want to move on because its final memory was perfect.
A haunting that doesn't want to frighten you, but wants you to feel what it felt. That, Calyx, is a far more mysterious concept than any tale of trauma. It forces us to reconsider what it means to leave a mark on the world. Think about the places you've been happiest. Is a small piece of you still there, laughing in the silence? Until next time, stay curious,